Good morning and welcome back. You are live on Quest today on The Big Story. Since the 30th of December 2023, when an online medium published an investigative story of how an undercover Nigerian journalist by the name Umar Audu bagged the Cotonou University degree in 6 weeks and went ahead to participate in the one-year mandatory National Youth Service Corps program, there has been a lot of unrest on the streets of the Nigerian social media spaces. In August 2019, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps paraded 8 computer operators caught in Maiduguri, Borno State for forgery of academic documents. The suspects confessed to be in the business of issuing fake university degrees and certificates for as low as 2,000 naira. By December 2019, the media reported that the National Universities Commission discovered over 100 fake professors in Nigeria. The NUC Executive Secretary, Professor Abubakar Rashid, was quoted as saying that the commission published the details of the fake professors on its website and also sent the names to the various universities for verification. Just recently, in November 2023, some staff of the member of Lagos State University were also busted for similar certificates racketeering. According to the reports, the certificate racketeering syndicate sold authentic Lagos State University certificates for between 2 million and 3 million naira to interested parties. These reports and more goes to show the buying of certificates and related academic frauds have been in Nigeria longer than one can imagine. And it is a fact that many Nigerians we see today, carrying certificates, especially politicians, either bought or forged the certificates. And so just in time of resumption of schools, today on The Big Story, we'll be looking at university certificate forgery and its effect on the society and how to solve this educational decay. And yes, with me this morning in the studio to talk more about this is Reverend Dr. Daniel Ipeji, who is also a seasoned educationalist. And of course, I have my colleague with me here in the studios, the person of Michael Gubadia, also known as Michael Ray. Good morning, guys, and welcome.
Yeah, it's another time for us to talk about the major one.
Yeah.
Reverend Daniel Ipeji, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
welcome.
Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Marian. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, it's been a while you've been here with us. But
yes,
today, for the sake of time, we're just going to move quite, fast. But it seems as though we're going to have to revisit this topic again. Yeah. But before we go into that, let's talk about this. Since you are a well-seasoned educationalist, you've been in the educational field for years now. What is certificate forgery? And what is pushing or fueling this trend right now in Nigeria? And still talking about certificate forgery, how deep has this decay gone? Are we just looking at just tertiary universities, institutions, or has it even gone deeper or beyond that?
First of all, let us see what is certificate forgery.
Yes.
As the name implies, it means somebody forging the certificate that he has not earned, that he has not read for. So that's the meaning of certificate forgery. So, of course, you know the system is so corrupt. Somebody can give money and get a certificate. So that is what we call certificate forgery. And it is so deep into the Nigerian educational system that a lot of this has happened behind the scene. A lot of people are giving out money, politicians, we can hear over the media, people giving out money, and it is so deep into our system that educational forgery has been, certificate forgery has been an order of the day. We can hear it all over the media.
So what exactly is pushing or fueling this trend?
What is really pushing, people don't want to really go through the system. There's what we call, in those days when I was growing up, they say, as you go to the school, as you pass through the school, let the school pass through you.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to pass through the school. They don't want the school to pass through them. They don't want to read. That is what is bringing all this. People don't want to bow down their heads, bend down their heads and read. That's what is leading to certificate forgery. You see people going to the university just to play, go to clubs, do all sorts of things. At the end of the day, meet a lecturer, give me this, and you are giving it, they offer money and you are gone.
But let's come here.
About desperate, you get it.
Let's come here. Talking about that desperation, a question comes to mind. How easy is it so for them to just forge this certificate? Because, like she said in her introduction, even in Kano State, as little as 2,000 naira will give you an authentic certificate. Yes. Sometimes when you look at this certificate, it's not even fake. It's authentic.
Like
Just like you said, they've not gone through the process, but they have the certificate. So is it that it's so easy? Because if it's not easy, we'll not be talking about it. So is it that it's so easy for these persons to get this, and that is also a reason we're seeing more of it come out, whether it's the political class gone in for it, whoever. So is it that it's so easy to do now? That's why we're having a lot of it in our hands, and the problem has to decay.
It is so easy to do that. A lot of lecturers, they need money. They need money. Just somebody coming out that just 2,000 naira. If you get that for about let's say 200 students, that is money. So the system is so corrupt. People.
You know what actually caught my attention in this was when I was reading the report, by that investigative journalist. The certificate that was issued to him, he at first thought it was fake, obviously, because they gave him that under 6 weeks, But then while going through the document, he saw, there's a part where you can scan to determine if this certificate is original. And then he did it, and it was an authentic, like it is certified, it's on the portal of the university that this certificate is authentic. And now we're getting that from what happened in Lagos State University. 2 to 3 million naira you can get this as simple. So now the question is, I mean, when I attended university, forging of certificates is not something that is so easy. You just don't walk in there and you just get even when you go meet those lecturers, they would even tell you it's not possible. You literally have to. So but right now we're seeing that it is just, it's not for the fingers, and it comes out. The Senate, if you check the Senate list, of course they would have results. How is that even possible?
What I said earlier, a lot of lecturers are corrupt, and corruption is what is breeding this. You imagine somebody just give you a lecturer, offering him something. You discover most of those lecturers are not updated. You see a lecturer, his lecture note he used 9 years ago is what they keep on using. What will you offer? So when they just bring money, you take. At the end of the day, is it not money? You bring the money. After you can go. So that's what is bringing the more desperation in the system.
Okay, now let's come to the issue of government and also look at why this is there. Just like you said, it has been trending since. We could still take our mind to 2019 when the lead was blown off by the National Civil Defense Corps and where they caught some persons. But the question still remains. Before we had these journalists, Umar, going undercover to discover this, the government would not have done anything about it. And put a ban on Togo and Benin and other universities. So let's look at it. Do you feel the reason this problem is also festering is that the government inability to do something about it? Because we do know if there are deterrents, nobody will indulge in such. So let's look at the point of government. Do you feel the government should also take a large chunk of the blame for two reasons? Number one, the decay in our educational sector as it concerns poor funding, and also our lecturers leaving the shores of this land of how they are treated. And again, the government inability to checkmate some of these persons that seem to have indulged in this. Politicians or not?
The government is not taking a strong stand. Why? Because some of them, they are also guilty. They forge their certificates. If you forge your certificate, how will you come out to say you want to investigate somebody that forged your certificate? Because you are a victim too. And if the matter is brought to the table, you discover you'll be a victim. So that's what, and they are not taking a stand, because if you are a victim of something, if you are not a victim of something, you can boldly come and say, let's investigate, let's go to the whole thing.
So are you saying that the federal government is purposely turning a blind eye to this issue?
The system is not as before, as when we were growing up. The system, the educational system in Nigeria is not as strong as it was in the 70s, in the 80s, and in the early 90s. So we need to check what is going in the educational system of Nigeria. So why are people leaving this country? There are a lot of things that are happening that the government is paying deaf ear to. Let's see who is there as an administrator, as a minister of education, as a commissioner of education in each state. Let's check their pedigree.
Okay, but before we go on that break, I have a question to ask you. I'd really love for you to answer it quite quickly. On the social media space now, there's been several reactions since when this issue popped up,
about Umar.
Yes, about Umar Adu, and every other universities that have been attached, to this, because basically the Umar Aldu's case, the universities are like Benin and Togolese universities, but even here in Nigeria, you know, coming out of this case kind of brought out a lot of worms from the camps and all of that. So, but there's an argument now trending out. The reason why this act is growing rapidly is because of the employers themselves, because they say the employers prefer certificates and degrees and grades over skills of individuals. How true is this?
It's quite true, because Nigeria are mad at getting certificates. Like in the Western world, like in Japan, China, and Korea, people don't depend on certificates so much. It depends on your skills. You can discover most of those panels and the screwdriver we use here, they are manufactured by 10, 11 years, 12 years old students. You discover our education system, we don't lay emphasis on acquisition of skills. That's where the problem lies. Everybody wants to get certificate, and then after you get the certificate, what next? You can read and get the certificate, then what next? Will there be a job for you in the market? So you discover a lot of people want to go for certificate. That's why this rush for certificate forgery. But if we really lay emphasis, on our technical schools, lay emphasis on what is the meaning of technical college, what is the meaning of polytechnic. And this school is not there it's not existing to bring the social science courses. They are there to deal with people that want to acquire skills. And that's what technical school, polytechnic, University of Technology, University of Science and Technology is meant for. You don't go to University of Science and Technology to begin to learn English language. It's meant for technical courses that will make people acquire skills. But you discover somebody going to read business study in a technical school. What do you have to do with business studies? The technical school is meant for courses in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, foundry, and all the rest.
Okay, but that really is not the case right now, as it seems. But right now we have to go on a break, Reverend Danny KG. I would implore you to please, you know, keep your bullets in your gun. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go nowhere. You're still on Quest today, on Quest Television and Quest 93.1 FM.